Okay, so now we're live. Thank you, Fady, for having this 20-minute talk with us on the occasion of Saudi Arabia. It's the first show in Saudi Arabia after COVID. It's our first Oreca after COVID, and it's our first live event, actually, held concurrently with our Oreca show. So we're very excited to have you with us. Thank you for taking the time to answer our questions while you're in the country where everything is happening, where everyone wants to be. Now that COVID is kind of behind us, or in the process of being behind us, we would like to hear about IHG upcoming projects in Saudi Arabia, the activities you're planning, and what do you have in the pipeline? Let's, yes, go ahead.
First of all, a big thank you for hosting me. And the second big thanks goes to as well organizing this important event. And you've taken a big, I would say a big risk, but as well a calculated and an exciting risk, I would say, because Saudi is in the middle of a big plan to energize its hospitality sector to be able to meet the 2030 vision. So for that to happen, it's not only about one sector of this industry, it's about the collaboration that all of the sectors need to join hands and make sure that they're going in this direction. But this is where you, as an important organizers for exhibitions, will jump in, because you are bridging the gaps and making sure that people are meeting. And this is where your event really showcases an important thing in Saudi. Yes, it's the start of the exhibition, and I'm very happy because we've been on a standstill for a year and a half. There was no exhibitions, there was no major international events, but here you come with a great Oreca show. I think you will be you will see the number of people that are going to come to your show. People are overexcited. This industry is enjoying a lot of publicity, and people, and especially the youth, the Saudi youth, are pretty much excited about what's happening in this industry. A big congrats and a thank you for having me on your show. The second, to go back to your question, IHG has been in the country for years, and I remember my career started with Intercontinental Riyadh in '96 for 4 years. So the country is a very dear country to my heart, and I came back after all of these years to really celebrate, first of all, with the Saudi citizens, and I consider them very much really brothers, because they know us and we know them very well. And being a Lebanese as well in Saudi is something that I'm proud of, and I feel that the way this country has given me, I want to give it in return in terms of developing talents and developing the hospitality sector in Saudi. So IHG is a big company that has already 38 hotels in Saudi, and honestly, to be frank with you, it's the words of our MDs that we are developing further hotels, and it's going to be in the pipeline within the coming years. We have around 20 hotels already lined up. We're signing a lot of our new hotels in different parts of Saudi. So Saudi is not only about Riyadh, it's other remote areas as well, which are becoming important for tourism. Whether it be in the eastern province or the western province and other major cities. So this and something about IHG is we're not opening only few brands. I mean, we are expanding our brand map across Saudi. So you can see new brands coming up. Voco is one of the brands. People are very much familiar with the Intercontinental brand. They're very familiar with the Crown Plaza, the Holiday Inn, but as well a few years ago, we've introduced the Voco as a brand, and we have few hotels branded under Voco. And Staybridge is a great brand as well to showcase in Saudi, to target to certain markets. So each of our brands really play an important role in addressing certain, certain products to certain market segments. But the great news is as well, because of the challenging dynamic of the market, I would say IHG is so ready to really introduce its other new products to the market.
Can you know some more? Which ones are coming up?
It's we have the Kimpton brand as well as something that we want to showcase in Saudi, and for example, the Regent is one of our ultra luxury brand as well, is going to be coming to the market, and that's going to be.
Which ones are we talking about?
We're talking about Kimpton and we're talking about Regent. So these are two new brands to our portfolio. Kimpton is well known in the States and in Europe, and it's expanding in other parts of. Indigo is another brand that we're working on. I mean, these are all important announcements that I would leave to our head office in Dubai and in Riyadh to really announce about the upcoming opening. But what I want to say is it's promising, and the numbers are going to go up. And because the numbers are going to go up in terms of our pipeline, that's important as well, is to be close to our stakeholders. And that's why ISG has decided, despite all what's happening around COVID, to open its head office in Riyadh. And that's an important announcement, honestly. It's headed by our managing director, Bastien Blanc, ASA. So he's going to be on your show, I think, as well. And the good thing about this office is it really makes us close to the stakeholders. I'm talking about owners. I'm talking about our guests. I'm talking about our employees, and these are our really. This is our success, yeah. And I think moving forward. The dynamic is the much more you're closer to what's happening in the city, the much more you're going to gain. And for us, gain is really making sure we have an important, game within the Saudi market from a company perspective, and that's something we're proud of.
Absolutely. Going back to how is IHG Group aligning its vision with plans for Riyadh to double its number of hotel rooms as part of the Vision 2030. So you told us you're opening up 10 new hotels?
We're opening, in the pipeline there's 20, so that's very important. And something about Saudi as well, for the audience who are attending this, and for you as well, is I'm sure you're in the picture, and I'm sure you've read a lot about all the beautiful projects that are opening, not only in Riyadh but across all Saudi, and that's targeting a lot of our international travelers, and more important is as well our local travelers. Saudi is a country with around 32 million in population, and people have a tendency every year to fly out of Saudi and explore the world. So Saudi is trying to change that as well by giving an opportunity for its citizens to start with, for expats, because they live here in a very harmonious environment. So they want to give them an opportunity to visit Saudi and explore all these beautiful cities, and I would say the Ministry of Tourism is doing a great job by expanding important historical sites, and everybody's talking about Ola, and it's been like 3 or 4 years that a lot of important events are happening in Ola, and this is creating a bit of a buzz around this particular heritage city. And this is one example, but there are an enormous number of happenings that are really catching the international travelers. So this goes back to the question that you've asked, and I gave you a bit of hints around what we as a company are doing, and in terms of expanding in Saudi. But more important is as well, creating the right product for the right city is as well one of the important aspects. However, with creating these hotels, you need to create important milestones of people element. And people element is, when I talk about people element, is our Saudi young talents who are joining hospitality. So for us, we have a lot of important initiatives that we're launching in different regions just to enable our Saudi youth, because they're the ones who are really going to be driving the business. And in collaboration with different authorities in Saudi, you can see that a lot of happenings are, whether it be support from a financial perspective to all our young Saudis who are joining this industry, or you're talking about enhancing the educational level of hospitality to, to give more tools. And this is where international companies are as well jumping in to initiate certain programs that will really develop. And we are in a big need of developing a succession planning for all our Saudi colleagues. And this is where ISG as a company is very strong in identifying a successful pipeline to develop Saudis to be able to take leadership roles in hotels and be able to take the journey forward, especially with the opening of new hotels. So this is one of the big things. Like with opening of hotels, you can see right now as we talk, is that middle management to upper management is being enhanced with Saudi talents. This is not to underestimate what our expat talents has been giving to this industry, and we need them as well. So with the openings that we're seeing with hospitality, both our Saudis and our expat talents are really needed in this industry, and ISG is really giving an important focus on this particular point. So I just wanted to shed light. It's not only about building hotels and nice hotels and really focusing on certain destination, but as well the people factor is an important element in what we do.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the signature of IHG. I would say the kingdom plans to create lots of attractions with the highest international standards, the improve of Saudi visa issuance procedure, the development of all these historical sites we've been talking about for the last couple of days. How will this really affect and reflect on the hospitality sector? How do you see that? We're talking a lot about internal tourism. We're talking a lot, but what's the expectations? What's the forecast?
Just to give you a bit of what's happening right now. So Saudi in general is going to be launching Mawasim Saudi, and so this is a big initiative, and we're very lucky to have such initiatives. Something similar happened in 2019.
Yes.
However, 2020, it got a bit of a drawback because of what's happening with COVID. However, 2021 is going to be an exciting season, and the season is not few days, and it's not only one event. It's a period of 6 months, and it's going to be around several cities of Saudi. We've seen a bit happening in Jeddah. We've seen a bit happening in other cities. But what I can tell you is I'm not authorized to be giving the program, but what I can say from the vibes and from the meetings that we are engaged with, I can tell you that Saudi is going to introduce a beautiful program this year that will really attract international, regional guests to the kingdom. Now, in parallel, to give you a bit of content, is yes, we still are facing a bit of the people are hesitant about traveling, although you can see that the kingdom is introducing a lot of support. And one of it, they have their own health passport application that whenever you come to the kingdom, whether you're a resident or a foreigner, the moment you arrive, you can directly register and you need to access and give a lot of, you give the needed information just to facilitate, because that's going to really be an important health passport for you to access all touristic sites or to malls or to hotels. And so the kingdom is really introducing high-tech applications to encourage foreigners and visitors to come to the country. So all of that activity, to put it in a nutshell, that's going to really support our hotels to start with, because we're looking for that. I mean, we've been last year, it was not a very easy year for a lot of us. So this year, I think, especially quarter 4, quarter 1 next year, we're going to be enjoying a lot of international travelers, hopefully. And I think Saudi is going to, from all these activities, really draw attraction, especially on a regional basis. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. You did actually extensively. Can we talk a little bit about sustainability and how's IG putting health safety on its agenda? Because this is a question we've been asked regularly for a while now, and we would like to hear about how you're managing this.
Yeah, I mean, ISG has been very active on that front. It just introduced a lot of protocol around cleanliness. It did introduce in 2020 an IG clean promise, which just gave assurance to people that we follow a lot of protocol around how we clean rooms, how we do the public space, social distancing, how do we serve buffets on all our all-day dining. So there's a lot of processes that have been implemented across all our hotels, and these processes, they're not done only on a one-time basis. We do have applications that are being given to all our housekeeping agents to audit the rooms when they're done. So that is going to give a bit of more assurance to our clients about the safety from a cleanliness perspective and the protocol that we're implementing. This is on an international level, but however, as well, from a Saudi level, we work very closely with the Ministry of Health about implementation of the protocol that has been, cascaded to Saudi. But we see each other very complementing each other from a Saudi and from an IG perspective to make sure that the highest level of safety is implemented in all our hotels.
Okay. Anything else you can tell us? How you're gonna, what's for you the new normal? The new normal aspect. Yeah. What's the new normal? What's post-pandemic? How are we gonna manage? Is there something that's gonna change? We're starting to. Can you identify what's happening?
Look, honestly, I think people are gradually going back to normality in terms of traveling habits. Yeah, I can see that. I was abroad and came during summer. So I can see people are, treating COVID, they take their precaution. We can see that with the measures. Things are going back to normality, but you need to respect all of the protocols that are either identified by certain countries or even yourself, the way you treat the whole the whole, and I would say Saudi has been dealing with this pandemic in a very good way. So I think this is the norm. So things are moving in the right direction. Yeah, there is still some challenges, I would say. Let's admit there are still challenges. People are a bit concerned about traveling. A bit the airlines as well. You can see not all airlines are increasing their frequency of flights. So this is another topic that needs to be addressed from an airline perspective. But I think people are so ready to travel, and I think this year, next year, probably you will see more of of trends of people wanting to move across and visit beautiful areas that has not been visited for a long time. So that's what I can assure you. And to come back to one important topic is, I'd like to say, I mean, my role as an area GM for Riyadh Central, and plus I manage my own hotel, which is in the Digital City, Crown Plaza Digital City. I can say it's one of these beautiful hotels that has really hosted the G20 last year. and we're proud of it. And honestly, Saudi has showcased this important event. I just wanted to highlight how important this event was, and it was in Crown Plaza RDC. And I'd like to welcome all the guests. I'd like to welcome international travelers to come to Riyadh, to come to Saudi, and to stay with us, and hope we can see you soon.
Well, that's amazing. Before we end up, can you tell us if what are the sites you would recommend if we want to travel to Riyadh? What would be, on a personal level, things not to miss?
Riyadh is a city that, first of all, the hospitality of the Saudis is really something not to miss, I would say. They're very warm,
Nice.
they're very welcoming. No one will, you wouldn't have any interaction with any Saudi without really having this super welcome experience.
So
This is something I
hospitality,
would say
actually.
pretty much, and you will see it all over. There's a lot of nice stuff that you can do in Riyadh, particularly in Riyadh. Like, there's new trends happening, and it's nice to discover these trends, whether it be coffee lounges. You can see they're mushrooming across, and these coffee lounges are they're not the typical coffee lounge. Yeah, you can see coffee lounges with people queuing to go to the coffee lounge.
Nice.
It's more about new small things that is being, you can find it in the society, and people, and especially the young Saudis, they're very entrepreneurial in terms of putting food and
Yes,
beverage experiences.
absolutely.
And so, me as a foreigner, and if anyone is coming as well to Saudi, I would say try to explore these small businesses that the young Saudis are opening, and it's really exciting because it gives a bit of energy when you. And the other day, just I was passing through the street. Some of the small coffee shops are managed by female Saudis. They're
Absolutely. Absolutely.
baristas. They're great young ladies managing their own business, and that's encouraged by pretty much the entrepreneurial spirit of what the young Saudis want to establish.
Absolutely. Well, we have at the show a lady who's being a judge. We have a barista competition, and one of the judges is a Saudi barista. And you have very few women barista all over the Middle East, and one of them is in Saudi Arabia, which, I mean, you could feel another vibe. You could feel something new happening. The Salon Culinaire we're seeing plenty of young Saudi chefs with a great work. You can see innovation, creativity, something you wouldn't see 10 years ago. So yes, we can feel it. We feel the change, and this is awesome to be part of it and seeing it. Thank you so much, Fady, for taking the time to be with us. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.